I don't like those railroads no more. Yeah, Billy Joe, I don't like them rich people either. They nothing but bad news. I swear the government should be in charge of them railroads. Yeah, you know what I think? I think we should make our own party. A people's party? Yeah, but what should we call it? The People's Party!
The People's Party, also known as the Populist Party, was a third national party created by the poor and farmers to better represent them and the working man. On May 19, 1891, the National Union Conference got together and approved the new party of the United States. On July 4, 1892, the People's Party held its first national convention where they picked a former Union General, James B. Weaver, as its presidential candidate and a former Confederate General, James G. Field, as his running mate. The party platform called for the free coinage of silver and gold, a graduated income tax, the creation of postal savings banks, government ownership of railroads, the telegraph, and telephone. Other resolutions that were not part of the official party platform included the secret ballot system, restriction of undesirable immigration, an 8-hour workday, and one-term limit for the President and Vice President of the U.S., and the direct election of U.S. Senators. In the 1880s, as drought hit the wheat-growing areas of the Great Plains and prices for southern cotton sunk to new lows, many tenant farmers fell into deep debt. This made them more and more angry with railroads, lenders, grain elevator owners, and others whom they did business with. This then caused them to come together and form this party. Many journalists and politicians saw little evidence of populism in their states and often treated the party as a joke. Even though many people didn't support them, the National Party and James B. Weaver won over 1 million votes and were becoming more and more popular. However, by 1896, the Populist Party was doing even worse than the Democrats. Two main factions appeared, and the party began to split into two. One faction, the Fusion Populists, wanted to merge with the Democrats. They didn't believe a third national party would make it, so their only way to survive would be to join the Democrats. The second faction called themselves Mid-Voters. They believed the Democrats only wanted to destroy the third party. They wanted to stay in the middle of the road between the two other parties and merge with neither. Mid-voters soon realized they would not make it in the election. They were forced to campaign for Bryan, who was elected the leader of the Populist Party and who was also more of a fusionist. During the national campaign, Bryan pretty much ignored the People's Party, even though he was its nominee. He had ruined the hopes of the mid-voters and would now crush the fusionists, leaving the whole party destroyed. This killed the party's hopes of ever becoming a national party, and they slowly began to diminish. Even though the People's Party died, the populist ideas still stayed alive. Theodore Roosevelt recast many of these ideas in his new forms and even used some in his campaign. Certain specific ideas that were made were direct election of U.S. senators and calling for aid to farmers and employment on public works in time of depression. As we know, the Democratic Party is still alive today, and many of the populist ideas are used in their party. Although in the end the People's Party failed, it was still an important part of populism in that time period. It gave the poor and common people a voice and allowed them to stand up for what they believed in. They weren't able to form a third national party, but they were able to get their ideas across and influence the nation greatly.
As did two other political groups, the Populists and the Socialists. After the Civil War, many Americans returned to or began farming. But over the next decades, there was an overproduction of farm goods. With more supply than demand, prices plummeted lower and lower. At the same time, the cost of seed, fertilizer, and railroad transportation increased, leaving more and more farmers little money to support their families and still pay their debts to bankers. In protest, farmers began to organize political parties. Of them, the Populist Party emerged as the most powerful. The Populists supported an income tax based on earnings to support the government, rather than the tariffs then charged to farmers and businesses. They demanded a shorter workday, government loans to farmers, the direct election of state senators, secret ballot voting, and other election reforms. But Republican William McKinley defeated the populist-supported presidential candidate, Democrat William Jennings Bryan, in 1896, and the Populist Party, if not its causes, faded.